Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. We're going to discuss today some different things that are going on in our animal community, as always. That's why we have this show, is to keep you connected to the animal community through stories, through challenges, through triumphs. But we're definitely going to talk about what's going on with our animal situation right now. We're going to discuss some tough things today, which are things like, why can't every animal go to rescue? Why is our shelter full? You know, different things that we have a lot of people asking us questions about. There are a lot of frustrations in the town right now, and a lot of that frustration, a lot of that anger is being taken out on the shelter, on our rescue, on our volunteers, and we just want to explain to everybody what's going on, because if there's a better understanding of the problem, then maybe we can figure out a way as a community to come together and help it, and then there can be fewer frustrations in general about needing to get some help. So let's start with our current reality here in Sylacauga. We have too many stray and feral dogs and cats on our streets. Now, when you think about that, we have a lot of people asking us questions about, what does that mean? What is going on with the animal situation? Why can't every animal on the street be helped? There's a difference between stray and feral. So you can think of the stray animals. Those are the dogs or cats that have been abandoned, that have been dumped. They've been around people. They are adoptable. So there's a chance that we can rescue those animals. Now, the ones that are feral, those are either strays that have been on the street so long that they're now fearful of people, or it could be animals that were born on the street. And so those animals are essentially wild. So we see so many posts, so many questions about the animals that are on the packs of dogs around Home Depot, around Walmart, around Hobby Lobby. A lot of those dogs are not adoptable. So when you do a post, you say, somebody come get this dog, somebody help this dog. Unfortunately, those dogs can't be placed in a home. We do everything we can to try to figure out what to do with the strays in this area, but the strays, we have too many of those too. Our shelter is overwhelmed right now. They can have upwards of 170 dogs there at a time. And that can certainly happen when they have a lot of mama dogs that have had puppies. And right now the shelter's got several dogs that have puppies there. It's not a great atmosphere for puppies to be raised, and it's tough to take care of that many animals. So if you think about how many shelter staff, how many people work at the shelter versus how many dogs are there, you may have 3 or 4 people there, maybe 5, that are trying to take care of 170 dogs. That doesn't even include the cats. They have cats there as well. So think about when you get up in the morning and take care of your own animals. If you have 2 dogs, 3 dogs, maybe a couple of cats, think about all the things that you have to do, and how sometimes you think, wow, I've got so much I've got to do to take care of these animals. Now multiply that and think about having 170 animals and only just a few people there to help you take care of them. So when you call the shelter and you need help, understand that they may not be able to answer the phone right then. So don't get frustrated with the fact that nobody answered. Leave a message and they will get back to you. So just think about the fact that they do have a lot going on. They are full. They can't take every animal that somebody brings by because they don't have a place to put them. So again, don't be frustrated if you try to drop an animal off and they have to turn you away, and please don't get angry with the shelter staff. Just be kind and think about, okay, what can I do as an individual to help? Which we'll talk about some different things that you might be able to do on your part to try to help with this situation. And that can help you be a part of the solution instead of continuing to be a part of this problem that we have here in this area. Now, we also have the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill. That's our local rescue. So think about the fact that feral dogs, a lot of people get us confused. We are not part of the shelter. We don't run the shelter. The shelter is a city-run operation there. Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill, we are a local nonprofit. We are an all-volunteer-run situation. We work off of donations from the community. Every dollar that you donate to, or everything that you donate to Feral Dogs, goes to help any kind of animal situation in our community. And when you contact us, also keep in mind that everyone at Feral Dogs, we all have full-time jobs, so it might take us a little bit to get back to you. But again, we're here to help, and we're here to help the shelter. We're here to help the community directly. So there are so many things that we try to do to help, but we can't help all animals. So It's just an overwhelming situation we have here. And, people will ask us, well, you send animals to rescue. I've got a dog. Can you send this animal to rescue? Let's talk about what happens with the rescue situation also. So we have local rescues. Alabama has rescues, but Alabama is ranked 49th in animal protection and animal laws. So we are a state in general that's overwhelmed with stray animals and with problems and animal abuse and neglect and all kinds of things. So a lot of these rescues are just as overwhelmed as we are here in Sylacauga. So if we need to try to find a shelter or a rescue in the state, it's likely that they're in the same situation we are here. Now, other states have strong enough laws, and people are always surprised when I discuss this with them. A lot of states don't have stray dogs. They might have stray cats, but they generally get the dog situation completely under control. And so those states can accept dogs from other states that don't have as good laws and have a lot of strays. So we do work with those rescues. We do try to send a lot of animals from Sylacauga to other states for their rescues to find homes where it's much easier to find homes. So let's kind of think about this and put this into perspective. Before 2020, we were able to get a lot more animals out of Alabama to other states. We have the feral dogs, and now the shelter also, we have a lot of rescue partners in other states. Back in the day, in the heyday of rescue, sometimes we could get 1,600 dogs out of Sylacauga a year to other rescues. So the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill in the last 8 years has been able to get close to 10,000 animals out of Sylacauga in an adoptable situation. And a vast majority of those are dogs, and a vast majority of those went to other states. Now, most of those states prior to 2020 were able to take some adult dogs from Sylacauga, some older puppies, and as well as young puppies. But when 2020 hit and people were stuck at home, they adopted animals, and they didn't want to be home alone. But when their lives went back to normal after the COVID shutdown, they didn't want those animals anymore. So a lot of these states that generally would have space to take dogs no longer have that space. There have also been a lot of natural disasters. A lot of these states that can adopt animals out quickly have pulled dogs from flooding, from wildfires, from hurricanes, so that they can find homes for them. So we have fewer opportunities to get adult dogs, to get larger puppies out of Sylacauga, which means that right now, through Feral Dogs of Avondale, our only avenue, or our primary avenue to get dogs out of here is just puppies. And that's 2 rescues in Florida that still take puppies from us. And we're so thankful to have that rescue partnership. And we're thankful to have all of our rescue partnerships, but we're thankful that we still have that outlet for puppies to go to Florida. So you can imagine with those rescues, they can only take puppies that they can adopt out quickly. They are a foster-based situation, just like Feral Dogs is a foster-based situation here in Sylacauga. So we don't have a facility here. We only have our fosters. We can only help a certain number of people with puppies right now, but we have to think about on the other end of our rescue, we can only send puppies that our rescues in Florida can accept. So we have to get those puppies when they're really small. We have to get them when they're just weaned from the mother, because we have to get them set up in their puppy shots. We have to make sure they're healthy. We have to make sure they've had their shots before the rescue can take them in other states. So we have to make sure that, and when we do all of that, all of those things to make sure that we're sending a happy, healthy puppy that can be adopted to these other rescues and not overwhelming them, our fosters may have them a month or more than a month, maybe up to 5 weeks to get them out of here to these other rescues. So we have to think about smaller puppies. We have to think about puppies that of a mix, a breed that they can adopt out. So we are, the state of Alabama and probably most states, most stray animals have some pit bull in them. And we are not discriminating against pit bulls as an organization, or our rescues aren't. We love pit bulls. I have a pit bull that's likely in my bed at home right now, burrowed under the covers. But the problem is that pit bulls do have a bad reputation. They are not bad dogs. People are bad, and people have made pit bulls have that reputation. But because of that reputation, we have states that will not accept dogs that look like a pit bull breed. We will not We cannot send our puppies to even Florida. They have to find the puppies that are easily adoptable. And sadly, pit bull dogs are not easily adoptable. So if you contact us and you have larger puppies, you have puppies that look pit bull, our hands are tied. We can't help. We want to help. We're as frustrated as you are, but there's nothing we can do about that. And there's another, unfortunately, dogs that are solid black are hard to adopt out. So we have to be careful with litters of puppies to make sure we aren't trying to send an entire litter of black puppies to the rescue. That we've got some puppies of different colors and different markings and things like that that can make it much easier for them to adopt on their side of things. So I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes talking about some of the puppies and explain what happens with the whole process, and then we'll talk about quickly things that you can do to help. Now, this dog was actually picked up on the side of the road on Saturday with another puppy, another litter mate. This dog is a larger puppy. You can see that it is he's got a pit bull look to it. Sweet puppy, definitely deserves a home, just a love of a dog, but because it's larger, because it looks like a pit bull, we can't help it. So the person who found these dogs found them on the road close to the shelter. We assume that there's a possibility that the original person who had them tried to take them to the shelter. The shelter's full, couldn't take them. Unfortunately, we're seeing people dump the dogs close to the shelter. And then another Good Samaritan found it, tried to take it to the shelter. They wouldn't take them. So we're trying to help them find ways. They're being fostered by the people that found the two dogs. We're trying to get them at least started with their shots, trying to figure out a way that we can find them a home locally. But you know, that's going to be a tough thing because, again, all of our local rescues are full. But you know, maybe someone local. So you know, if you see a post on Facebook about it, please share it, and so that we can find a local home for these puppies. Like I said, they're super sweet dogs. But this is another dog I was actually contacted about yesterday. As you can see, large puppy. This is a puppy that is a breed that we could have sent to a rescue if it had been found as a tiny puppy, but because it's a large dog, we don't have any way. This dog is in Shelby County. We've recommended they talk to the rescues around Birmingham, put it on Pet Finder, but this is another dog that looks like the sweetest dog on earth, and who wouldn't want that dog? But we can't help. The Feral Dogs Organization can't help it, and of course this dog can't go to our shelter because it's full, and the dog's from Shelby County. But we do have some other smaller puppies that have gone through the system that, just to explain to you, I mean, this was a dog that actually came from the garbage dump in Childersburg. A feral mama dog had the puppies there. The guys that work there reached out. Actually, one of them reached out to his neighbor, who reached out to my mom, who reached out to me. So, you know, this dog came directly to Feral Dogs with 5 other puppies in that litter. This is a breed that would be very highly adoptable through our rescues in Florida. So we got the puppies. You have to give them all their shots. You have to deworm them. You have to give them all their medications. You have to find a safe spot where they can be healthy and to make sure that they can get through the system. And then we have to find a place where they can be adopted and highly adoptable and accepted in a rescue. This litter of puppies went out on a transport by van, so that we have a transport that comes to Home Depot. This is another puppy that had a very similar situation, but it was brought to the shelter with its 6 other litter mates, and the shelter couldn't take it, but we happened to be there volunteering, so we got it through the Feral Dogs foster system. So you can see that sometimes the shelter can help by contacting us with small puppies. Sometimes people come directly to us. But this puppy had a very similar fate to that other one, where it's now in Florida. It's been adopted. We have flights that go down there, then people that volunteer to take the puppies down. So there is help, but you can see that's a small puppy. So we've got to get to them when they're small. So keep in mind, don't get frustrated if you contact us if we can't help. We can't help everybody. Again, we are a foster-based system. The shelter is overwhelmed. But start thinking about ways that you can help. You can contact us and we can try to figure out a way to help you. But know that that we'll help you figure out ways to get help if we can't directly help you. So make sure that if you see posts, share it. If you think you would like to foster, please foster, because the shelter will provide all of the supplies if you foster through the shelter. We'll provide all the supplies if you foster through Feral Dogs. Think about other things that you can do. If you want to donate, you can donate money, you can donate supplies to the shelter, to Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill. That's always very welcome. You can definitely think about spaying and neutering. If you have not done that with your pets, please do that. Because if we can get everyone to spay and neuter, and the people that can't afford it, there's help out there. You can let us know. If you don't have a car to drive your animal to the vet or to transport, let us know. Because that's another thing that people can do to help. You can drive transports for these dogs. But there's so many different things that we can do. But if we can get spaying and neutering done, and we can make that a priority for this area, then Sylacauga can be an example for the whole state. Sylacauga doesn't have to be ranked 49th with Alabama. We can work together as a community, and we can do our best to get rid of this problem. Because if we spay and neuter these animals, we're not going to have an overrun shelter. We're not going to have these situations that we have right now. So if you have any questions, please contact us. I'm happy to answer questions on here whenever I can to try to clear up what's happening with this whole situation. But above all else, let's come together as a community to try to help. And please, please be kind to the people that are trying to help you. We can't take out our frustrations on those people that are trying to work so hard to help this situation. And talk to your city councilman, talk to the mayor, talk to everyone who's running. We're in campaign season right now. Talk to all of your candidates for your city council district, for mayor. See if this is something that concerns you. See what they think about it also to help you decide who to vote, and get out and vote when it's time in August. So thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you contact us if you have questions. We appreciate all the help we have in the community, and we will have more Daybreak after these messages.